I'm Tony Ray. This is Donatelli.
I'm Pappy.
And I'm Sunshine.
And this is Strange Tales.
Strange Tales? And you are listening to Strange Tales from Outer Space.
Let's start the show!
Yeah! I'm Tony Ray. This is Donatelli.
Welcome to Strange Tales from Outer Space. Is it too loud?
No, I may have accidentally let the audio from the stream bleed into the stream. So there's going to be a period of time where everybody's slightly annoyed at the echo, but it was like a second long, and I was like, oh, fuck, no. So I apologize for that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Strange Tales from Outer Space.
Tales from Outer Space.
Where we don't know how to do anything properly.
The show
we
where
are
we fuck everything up. But
look, we are consistent at getting bad introductions to our podcast.
100% true.
Hey, that is our brand. People come to know and love us. Our ineptitude, our bad introductions, our occasionally spotty reporting, multiple memorable personalities, and our continuous effort to shoot ourselves and self-deprecate ourselves in the foot while we go over the news and views of this week's Wildstar news and our community and stuff like this. Krug, how was your week?
my week was good. I did a cool thing in Flash for the Quarter Up stream, which Indigo is going to talk about a little bit later. I basically made the overlay in Flash so that I can control the overlay by clicking on the actual overlay instead of... These two guys have fucking heard this to death and beyond because I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself.
No, it's super cool.
Look, I'm rarely proud of myself, so I'm going to enjoy this and brag about it a little bit, if that's all right with you guys. So that's what I did. I made it in Flash.
It's not like we're doing a show for another show or something like that.
It was really fun, and I'm glad. And now I know a new skill. And it was great. That's what I did this week, aside from working.
And you started learning how to program a website from scratch.
Oh, yeah. I started learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript simultaneously, which is mind-boggling, but so useful. What? It's not. Those are the three things that you need to build a website.
True.
Like, I mean, three. You can go into, like, Ruby and all that other shit, but...
I went to Squarespace. Fuck that noise.
Oh, I'll send you the site that I used. It was great. But yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Kind of working. A server went down today while I was in a parking lot, and I had to fix it from my phone, which was annoying as shit. And I think that every time that company's application causes my server to crash, they owe me $100. Because then I could just fucking retire, like, right now.
And Indigo, how was your week?
That wasn't an awkward transition at all.
Kind of shut up and
so we did our pilot of Quarter Up, which Krug mentioned, which was really fun. I'm not going to point or say who won, but, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and that's all that really matters.
And will get you everywhere. It is a pilot, so things will be different when we're going to get to the actual show.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be way tighter. Because, I mean, I fucked so much stuff up, but that's because it was really difficult. Now it's going to be really easy, and it's going to go a lot more smoothly. And even if it did go a little poorly, like as far as the technical side was concerned, but it was still really entertaining for me to be a part of it. Like and I think that's the thing everybody cares about. I don't think people care that coins make a sound effect. Like, so what?
anyways, played a little bit of Wildstar this week. Again, I'm still in the same boat everyone else is in right now, which is this kind of like, all right, we're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna wait until free to play, which is only 9 days away as of this recording right now.
I have not done that math in my head. Wow, that is mind-boggling.
Yeah, so we're all just waiting for it to happen. So we heard a lot of news about the crafting system, which we'll go into a little bit later. What?
Nothing.
I
thought Krug almost like spilled water on his microphone right there.
No, I just bumped it and it probably made a sound.
Doc, what about you? How was your week?
My week was quite amazing because all I did was work.
You don't sound excited about it at all. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Gotcha.
Yes. Well, just like you guys, I'm learning new skills. So I started up Code Academy again, trying to learn how to code and do HTML and C++ and Java and Ruby. Learn all the necessary skills. They're not my strong suit. So it's very much like I'm beating my head against the wall and trying to be patient and learn it. I use Squarespace, and I set up free advertising for someone that's not sponsoring us. Set up my own site for my own my portfolio and whatever pieces I'm doing. I was able to borrow a tablet from a friend to stream a little bit, but because of all that stuff, I didn't get a really chance to play any games at all. I think I got like 2 games of League in, and then I got Diablo 3 this afternoon for the first time in forever and a day. And that's pretty much been my week. It's just been a bunch of work. Like, and I think work should be rewarding and fun, but I'll leave it at that.
So I normally don't do this because the live stream supposed to be separate than all of our other pieces of content. But I just got like 9 emails right now of all of the people that just followed us, and I just thank you.
First raid from Blue.
I was just like, I just blew my phone up. So thank you, all of you, for that.
Yeah, I got them too, but the difference is I'm streaming, and you can probably hear the notifications. So I'm just gonna turn that off.
That was just
podcast mode.
Anyways, that was crazy.
Let's get into the strange tales of this week, and there's a quite nice bit of chunk of news this week. First off, we finally got a deep dive on the Alpha Sanctum. For those of you who have not been paying attention to the show in recent weeks, or you're new, the Alpha Sanctum is a new story instance in the game. It's going to be released around level 15, and it's a prologue to the Wildstar world story. So this is actually your first glimpse at why we have these primal elements everybody's talking about. Why we have these things called the Elden? Who the heck is this person that we meet at the end of it? And it kind of starts to slowly get us into the plans in the grand scheme of things for the planet Nexus and our story in Wildstar. You kind of go through this quasi-museum / like holding pen of things with the Pell. For some reason, the Pell seem to be the guardians of a lot of Elden stuff in Nexus. And on the bright side, it's not just the Alpha Sanctum you get earlier. A lot of the Drusera instance levels are getting their level like let's start. That's a prerequisite.
So the distribution of Drusera instances is getting spread out more evenly, so they're not going to be clustered around a certain level group. Starting from level 15 to level 50, you're going to have access to a Drusera instance at regular intervals throughout your leveling. And they're also getting lowered, so this one is going to be the first one, and it's starting at level 15.
If you throw that into like the battlegrounds you get at level 6 starting there, and throw it into the adventures and the expeditions and the dungeons, there is a nice consistent amount of things happening as you're leveling up from Wildstar Reloaded on. So that's really, really cool. And if you actually do finish Alpha Sanctum, you actually do get a piece of decor as well to go with it. So that's actually really fun. So we're going to move on to, I mean, that's pretty much all there is for Alpha Sanctum. I mean, we talked about it before. If anybody here had a chance to play it, let us know and see what you think, whether you're listening or you're watching live. I know I did. I found it a lot of fun being a lore buff. You actually get a nice, oh my god, I'm using all my words today.
Wait, is there lore in those instances?
Say again?
Is there lore in those instances?
Yeah, yes.
In
yes.
Drusera instances, there's lore?
The storyline is lore.
Wait, hold on. Do they say, like, when? When is there...
Anyways, next.
Bad troll is bad.
Yeah, bad troll was bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll do better next time, I swear.
So we're going to go back into the PTR for this next bit of news. So a lot of people have been trying to data mine what else is going to happen in Wildstar Reloaded and what we're going to see in the future of the game. And these new things have been popping up around the world. And they look like teleporter pads. Like you just step on them and you be teleported to someplace new. But these are like randomly, or not, well, kind of randomly. Incidentally, they look like they're teleporter pads that are near world boss drop areas. Mm-hmm. So I believe we're going to show those images on the screen right here. You've already seen them to my left, I believe it is. I forget. Spacing my right. There you go.
Anyways.
You designed the UI. How do you not know?
I did, but I'm getting everything mixed up. Anyway, Time Travel did confirm on Reddit that these faction teleporters are actually designed to help you get to the world boss locations faster, which actually does nicely eliminate the need for a scientist in your group. The idea is to rely less on the past because they're more of an accent to how you play. They're to enjoy your experience, not be a mandatory thing to have in raids and dungeons and world boss stuff. It just happens to be something that just is convenient. Oh, you happen to have a Venbot in Skullcano when you went for 40 times in a row? Cool. You don't have one, not a huge deal. Same thing with world bosses. You know, you don't have to have a summon, but you have one that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
This is cool. This is awesome. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, I don't like walking. So, I mean, I don't really think there's much to say about this. Like, thank you for making me have to walk less. I mean, your world is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But at a certain point, when you've traveled throughout the world multiple times to, like, level up buddies' alts, level up your own alts, and just, like, going back to get stuff you forgot and stuff, it's just kind of like, yeah, I know what this looks like. So, can I just go there? Like, can I click a thing? So all the
It's a nice convenience.
Yeah, all the convenience things are adding to let me get from point A to point B without having to go through points X through 1,008,942. I can't believe that actually came out as a legitimate number.
Well, and I think another reason that they're doing this is to keep flying out of this system as well, because while we will with the free to play have the instant teleport back and forth, this allows us to still get that travel and that experience without flying. And KDM just says no flying in the game currently. Thank you. Please don't.
We all
know
know
with hoverboards, they do hover above the ground.
I guess we should be explicit about that when we say stuff like that, because maybe some of these people don't play Wildstar. There's currently
That's
no
true.
flying
We
in
are
this
here
game.
for them too.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that personally.
I am too.
The worlds are big enough to travel. You don't have to worry about it. They're pretty enough to enjoy the vistas while you're going about it. But on some more PTR news, we are going to show you some of the new rewards. I do apologize for the user that posted this on the Reddit. I didn't write down your name. I do apologize. But they did show off the new Technophage reward costumes. So, if I'm not mistaken, these are going to be items you get either through daily logins or through cosmic rewards, especially since we haven't seen a whole lot of the cosmic reward stuff in game. I want to say it's the latter, the cosmic reward stuff. So what they are is they look like augmented Elden metallic weapons
These
that
look
go
nothing
for
like Elden anything to me.
the Technophage stuff. It's all of the
Like the color scheme's all wrong for Elden stuff.
well,
It's
it's
supposed to look like
it's
that.
it's the architecture. It's more like strain corrupted Elden stuff. It could
That's
be wrong.
not
I'm
what
just
it is. It's,
No way.
No, that's
No,
not what it is. But I'm just
anyways.
gonna say, on a more fundamental level, the Stalker claws are fucking cool. Like, you can talk about like the inspiration for the models and the color scheme comes from a derivation of this versus this, and like the juxtaposition of the. I think the Stalker claws look cool.
And I was thinking that the medic things were awesome.
Okay.
I still really love
Can I
the ranged spellslingers guns. Those are freaking awesome.
can I say something rated R about the medic guns?
Yes.
Every time I see something in Wildstar with all of those tubes that connect different parts of the item, I think of a veiny cock. Like, that's all that comes into my mind. So I can't enjoy any of those models because that's what I think of. And I mean, I'm sorry. Our stream's rated mature, so... that's
that
just what comes into my head.
Association I have ever seen in a video game. That's not
that's
Age
it.
of Conan.
That's all I have. I mean, I'd use them, but...
We're speechless.
Cosmic rewards from Moose. Moose has gone out and done some cosmic reward stuff.
Thank you.
I hate you so much. So much. You're the worst.
Sorry. So the Moose we all know and love.
Yes.
Went on a PTR and said, "Hey, I've already shown you the housing stuff. I've shown you the Shades Eve stuff. I've shown you other stuff like that." And here he finally got a chance to acquire almost all the cosmic rewards out of his own wallet. So if you see this video and you see Moose in game or any of his other versions, like I think Han Solo he has as a character name, he also has Captain Reynolds or Malcolm Reynolds, say hi and say thank you because, yeah, he does have a character named Malcolm Reynolds.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I think you might be giving away some of his secrets right now.
I don't think he minds that much.
Oh, well.
I mean,
can I tell you the best part of the video is the very end where he's on the mount that's like splayed out and it's fabulous.
No, I might skip to that part of the video.
Yeah, it's really cool. He shows off the War Piglet pet. I'm not a super huge fan of the costumes. It might just be me. It's all personal taste.
I want to see it on other body types. I don't know because the Granok it's making them larger. Maybe they look a little bit nicer on smaller character builds. I don't know. But yeah,
I think honestly, Granok and Chua have hard times with a lot of the costumes on them. They either are too squished or they're too broad, and it makes them all look really, really odd sometimes. But we also got to see the Bandit Carver and the War Pig mount, which we get to the very end. It's kind of 80s awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So, thank you, Moose, for spending your time and your money and just showing everybody you meet in game all the cool stuff and being just super nice
I'm
to
gonna
them.
be perfectly honest.
Awesome.
I hadn't seen the fabulous part, and I just watched it.
It was like those points from after school they'll jump in the air and that freezes.
I even if you're not interested in what the rewards are, you should just go watch this video for the ending. 'Cause it's fucking hilarious. It's just fucking hilarious. Anyways,
and one more cool little bit of news about the PTR is that once again we're going the customization bent.
Yeah.
And here, if you get to I believe tier 6 in cosmic rewards, like to the very end, you will get access to the Osen house. So you gotta spend a lot of time in game to get that, and it's really, really cool. On top of that,
It looks really fucking cool, though.
Yeah, these are specifically what this is showing off is all the customizations that we couldn't see before, which is some of them are super fucking cool.
Which no other house has it, I believe. You have like an upgraded version of a house, but the house can't be customized.
Yes, it can. Yeah, absolutely.
Which other ones?
All of them. All of them have unique like roofing options, unique doors.
Right.
Apologize. You know what I mean? Good job, buddy. Welcome to Wildstar. It's a game created by Carbine, who is I'm
having heat stroke in an air conditioning room right now.
Studio that is published by NCSoft. It's based in Japan.
So we're gonna move from the PTR to live streams, and if you haven't known by now, the last few weeks we have seen some new live streaming stuff from Carbine called Casual Friday, and this time they had, oh my god, what is his name? Mark Chang, I believe his name is.
I know his first name's Mark. I don't remember his last name.
He and a Sunshine came on and they talked about trade skills, runes, and trade skills. And oh my god, what's happening to me? It's so hot right now. Whatever. Basically what they did was they went over the PTR and all the fun changes that have gone over to runes and trade skills. Runes we've already gone over the last few weeks. You can kind of add them and roll them and change them and customize them. We've already talked about how there's no more certain runes are gone and how they have new class sets and that kind of stuff. But the major appealing part is the trade skill stuff that we haven't quite heard a whole bunch of yet. So first off, there are 4 of the trade skill crafts that got major reworks. That's going to be Armorsmith, Weaponsmith, Outfitters, and Tailors. And if you're going to be a tailor, just going to let you know, you're going to want to have a really good friend who's a survivalist or become a survivalist yourself, because you're going to have to pair those two together to get the maximum amount out of tailoring now.
Yeah, which I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm not super upset about that, because tailoring was kind of one of those classes where it was like you didn't have an associated gathering class or gathering skill.
Still kind of out of place.
Well, I mean, WoW does the same thing. Tailors, you just pick up cloths as you kill things. So, I mean, they kind of went the same route as that. But now Survivalist is being added in there to increase that, which I'm completely cool with that.
Like, thematically makes sense. I mean, you're on a world that doesn't have these synthetic materials anyway. I mean, they have other synthetic materials. So while you're taking off leathers off of creatures or egg sacs and legs off of giant mutated spiders, it would only make sense as survivalists you would scrounge through the corpses of fallen enemies and find bits and pieces of cloth.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad that they've added that. The reason why those 4 have gotten a major rework is the fact that they were the ones that were most affected by the stat changes. And because the stat changes, they had to completely rework the system because of that. Now, with that, there is a little bit, and I don't know if you guys watched the live stream or not, but when they were going over crafting, and it may be because I haven't been into crafting in a while, because I basically stopped crafting once I hit 50. But it looks like they also did kind of a cleanup of how it looks and how it works as a whole. Which I'm super excited about. I really liked what he was doing, but it was all lower level crafting stuff. Did you guys have a chance?
Yeah, I did watch the stream. I watched it the day after, and I watched it again this afternoon to kind of refresh myself. So what they did was, especially if you're a weaponsmith, there were concerns from the community saying, hey, you know, I wanted to do this kind of weapon because I'm a stalker, but I have to craft swords. I don't quite get that. So they streamlined that to where if you only want to craft a weaponsmith stuff for your class, cool, go for it. You're gonna miss out on some stuff, but it's your total choice. You don't have to have that weird prerequisite resonator to be able to craft your stalker blades. And they even showed us some of the new limits when they go into crafting itself. They added a brand new tier. So the research tier crafting, when you get to the end game of it, is gone. It's replaced by master tier. Now, unlike the rest of the text tree, where you actually have branching paths that lead you down to the next bit to kind of track your progress. Their master tier has no branches. The master tier, you solely have to get those stuff through recipes you get from vendors, through drops you get in Datascape, and through genetic archives. So you're gonna have to really work to get those recipes, to get those specific pieces of gear. Now, there were some concerns in the PTR and early testing saying, hey, this crafted gear is actually really strong, and there's a noticeable difference that makes it a preferred item to have against raid gear. And they admitted actually on stream that that was unintentional.
Yeah.
So what they did was the most recent update to PTR. They tweaked the numbers and they made it competitive. Mm-hmm. So if you were to have all these bonuses you get to crafting and all of your signature status stuff or non-signature status stuff or cosmic reward stuff, you could potentially craft gear that is on par, if not probably better than some pieces of raid gear. So if you aren't able to get the raid time, if you're just a casual player that doesn't want to raid and you still want to have competitive gear and feel like you're really, really badass, you could invest the time and research into crafting, or you just buy it from a crafter.
Yeah, this is what excites me, is that the fact that that tier is actually competitive and actually will help you out. Because the reason why I stopped crafting is because I felt like the gear was completely pointless. Like I was going into dungeons and completely getting wiped on crafted gear, or drops in a single vet dungeon was just blowing the crafted gear out.
I remember when we went into Sword Maiden for the first time and you were in crafted gear, and by the end you had like refreshed your entire loadout except for like a couple pieces, which was just like, really? Like this is pretty high level 50 crafted gear. Why is this dungeon just like blowing this stuff out of the water? Like it's not even like, oh, this is better in this regard and not like in this regard, but I'm focusing this other thing, so I have to take the dungeon gear instead. No, it was just like this is just objectively in every possible way better.
Yeah.
Middleman Blue does state you actually do still need to get some crafting mats from lower level zones in the auction house as well. So you're going to have to literally be going throughout the world to get this stuff.
Right. That was in reference to a question that happened in chat a couple of...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The other thing that they added to crafting, which I'm super happy that they added this, is they added a slider that you can slide back and forth and change between assault and support gear.
Right. Because now the
only
thing, there's no way for the game to tell, currently on live from what I understand, I haven't crafted in forever, but way back when I did craft, which was like shortly after beta ended, the way that it told the weapon whether to be assault or support focused is what stats you put on the weapon. So for example, as a medic, if I made resonators and put tech on the resonators, it would become an assault weapon. If I put insight on the resonators, it would become a support weapon. Now there's no real way to do that, since a lot of the secondary stats can apply to both assault and support. Some of them can't, obviously, but a lot of them can. And so there's just a little switch at the bottom now. It took me forever on live to just figure that out. Like, to figure out that, oh, if I give it a support stat, it'll become a support weapon. Gotcha. Because when it would populate, it would just be like assault is higher than support. And then I'm like, wait, what if that's not what I want, though? Oh.
And they toggled a ton of this stuff on here. There's even talents that give you more options to toggle between support and assault. So if you want to be more of a hybrid player, if you want to just kind of have the jack of all trades on it, if you're crafting stuff that's like, I have deflect on this sword now, I don't really want deflect, but I can sell it as a tank item. Okay, cool. So I'll just swap it over to support. It's really, really interesting. You're able to just customize as much as you want inside the gear. Let's see what else we got here. We go. Rework talents. So the talents for trade skills, like I said, they have extra stuff in there that actually give you stuff you haven't seen before. You can actually block out certain runes when you craft. So if you really want to make that special assault power style rune, you can block out life runes, which is nice if you actually put that talent in there. They actually have also done changes on the progress of the tech tree. So like I said, they added the master tree, they got rid of the research tree, and they've also redone those 4 skills. So there was a few concerns in the beginning when that happened, where it was like, hey guys, what happened to all of my progress? On the bright side, they've been able to work some black voodoo magic, and all of your progress is still there. You don't have to redo everything. Especially when you get to that like research / master tier, they've kind of like sorted it out where it's like, okay, you've done this much research into it, this many things into your tech tree, we'll convert that for you.
It's as fair as they could make it without.
Yeah.
And honestly, like things have to be thought of in this from their perspective. Like they're going to give you as much as they can without removing the ability to monetize it. I think that's kind of what the bottom line is. Like there were some questions on the AMA that we're going to talk about next, probably. that were addressing how rune rerolls slash rune additions to gear were being handled, and they were like, "Oh, we're handling it as fair a way as we possibly can." And I think the guy was kind of offended by that asked the question, because he was like, "Well, you're not doing this or this or this or this, so why aren't you? How is that as fair as you can possibly do it?" They actually said we're being as generous as we can be, and then like a bunch of people were kind of put off by that. I think they're kind of forgetting the perspective of, if we give them too much, we're not going to get any money, because that's the goal.
Well, if they give them too much, then they cap out early, and then they're like, okay, well, what do we do now? At the same time, they also want to honor the fact that there are players that have put a lot of time into crafting, and they don't want to shortchange them by just saying, we've changed it, so goodbye, try again, see you later.
There's a line there, but I think they're going to err on the side of making them have to either do more work or pay more money to get to a certain point.
I'm just saying, I'm actually looking forward to going back and crafting once we come back. Crafting and runing. Like, I know we've gone over runing, like, to the nth degree, but actually going in and watching them rune on the stream was really, really nice. And a couple weeks ago, we were reading over PTR notes, and it was like, oh, you can, assign runes while you're out in public, or out, and don't have. And then someone in chat was like, hey, you can currently do that live. So in game, in the chat, they went out. Look, I just keep saying this over and over again because people do not know that they can do this. You can put a rune on your gear anywhere you want.
It would help if there was a tooltip that told you that.
Even people that stream about this game don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're kind of plebby, so whatever. I just called us all plebs.
Oh, well, it works for us. So we're going to move on to the Reddit AMA, and Krug, I'll let you take point on this, because I did not have a chance to read over everything. You said there's some interesting things in there.
I read over a lot of it. A lot of it was kind of like minutiae. I'd recommend you go read
There's a lot of repeat questions, too.
Yeah, there were a lot of repeat questions from the stream specifically, from what I understand from the stream, since I was at work when it was going on. Carbine, please, don't do it during work. I'd recommend you go through it and see if there's anything that you're interested in. None of it really caught my eye. There was just a lot of like really specific mechanical questions. There was something like, oh, if we have runes in a guild bank, how is that being handled? And they were like, well, the runes are just gonna get replaced in your guild bank instead of through the mail. And then they said, well, what happens with the overflow? And then Carbine never replied. So, like, to a certain extent, the information in this AMA is useful, but to a certain extent, it's not. It's kind of hard to manage question and answers on this scale. It seems like they only replied to each question once and didn't, like, look at the follow-ups.
It is an AMA, so it's asking me anything. It's just an AANA, or ask me almost anything.
Well,
because they don't have to answer.
As long as it's the first time you're asking. AMAALAIT. Anyways, yeah, I'd recommend everybody go take a look at this. Everybody's going to get something different out of it.
There was one concern we saw in the live stream that they did kind of address a little bit, and I think they might have addressed it on the AMA as well, where people were saying, dude, you could re-roll random slots over and over and over again for a new rune type, but damn, it's a major gold sink.
Yeah, but it's indefinite now. So it's a lot.
It is indefinite.
I think it's a lot less of a time sink if you manage your money correctly. Like if you pick a goal and you focus on it, you can get the runes you want on the gear you want.
Wait. Are you guys implying that there are gold sinks in Wildstar?
Oh, gold sinks in an MMO?
Not Indigo.
What is this? Preposterous.
Believe it or not, Indigo. Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, the game as a whole is a gold sink. Like, it's like, hey, how do you put tinfoil on a gold sink? Like, that's
to counteract the sheer number of currencies. Right? So they have to have so much for you to spend on because you have like 98 different currencies.
Well, that's
how not actually 98 currencies in Wildstar.
Well, that's what they do. They give you 100 currencies.
And then they give you one of each.
Exactly, and then they make everything cost 10 of each. So you have to like grind the shit out of every single thing just to get like the first tier.
You know, it'd be a good April Fool's Day joke if they had a currency exchange. But in order to get from one currency to another currency, you had to go
through a third currency?
No, you had to go through like 4 other currencies. So you, like, if you want to get from
exchange
gold
rate from service tokens
prestige,
to
you have
copper.
to go from gold to service tokens to like renown to something else.
And there's a service tax for each currency you pass.
Yes.
And like they make it so that mathematically the percentages work out so that when you're at the end, you're always at 1. So you like invest 100 gold, and then you go through that thing, and you're at 1 prestige.
It kind of reminds me of the 5 plat bag of infinite frustration.
Oh, I love that. I bought that on PTR. It's great.
Is there anything new for the bag of infinite frustration on PTR, or is it the same as it always is?
No
spoilers for it, by the way.
No, he just didn't want to spend the gold on it in real life.
Yeah.
You know what that really means is that if we were to have that in the game, it'd be a lot more voiceover work for Protostar. I'm okay with that.
Do you want to be the voice? And is that part of your art
What?
school
I'm
training?
confused.
I would love to hear more Protostar voices.
Oh, you're just saying that without any kind of veiled agenda?
Yeah.
I
see
mean,
that?
you usually, when you talk about something that Carbine has to do, you usually have a veiled agenda. I'm just saying.
No, I just want to hear more of
Anyways,
Indeed.
So this next part is news. If
Sort
you're
of.
lucky.
if you're super lucky.
I don't really have any words for this. Mostly, if you haven't been online at all this week, what basically happened is GameStop is selling Wildstar copies for $4.99.
$5. $5 and you get a month.
There's a few caveats to it. It has to be online ordered only, unless you find a really, really nice person at the GameStop location nearest to you. That's like the biggest caveat to it. So some people were.
I'm sorry. Oh, you order it online and then go pick it up at GameStop.
But it sold out so fast in locations, it was insane. I went through. I live in Orange County. I know there's 10 GameStops that I know are fairly active and a few others that aren't super active. I went to all of them, and they were all sold out. Completely sold the F out.
Watch, I want one of us to like reach under our desks and just pull out.
Well, actually, there is one in Whittier that has like 10 copies, last I heard. So, need to go there. But yeah, $4 for a copy of the game. They're trying to get rid of this thing. $4.99.
Because it's free to play now. They got to get them out the door. They're going to be 99 cents at one point. Like, there's going to be one box copy left in the world, and Carbine's going to be like, first person to get to this specific store gets this copy. Like,
Well, and I mean, the thing is that Carbine is still offering things like digitally in game if you purchase the box copies, and that's because they're trying to get them off the shelf. And I still think that they have to buy them back if they don't, because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Well, it does, because I think they want the free-to-play part of the game not be contradicted by stores. So, like, if somebody sees an ad and is like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll download Wildstar later, and then they're in the store and they see $5.99 for a box, and they're just like, wait, what? I thought that was free. Okay, I'm not going to download it when I get home because I don't want to pay that money. And then they don't even look into it. You know what I mean? Like, the chance for that to counteract the benefit of free-to-play is quite high. What?
What?
What did you say, Doc?
Nothing at all. Let's move on, shall we?
Okay, great. Cool, let's do that.
So the last bit of official news we have this week is from MMO Reporter Network. They went to PAX Prime this weekend, and they had a chance to talk to Pappy. Once again, only because we are one of the many fan sites that are really on the ball with the news, like Wildcast, like Jazzy, my gosh, Geeks of Nexus.
I was like, come on, bro.
100 degrees, and now I'm like, my mind is melting, literally. It's all stuff we've already learned before. You know, they're talking about the transition to free-to-play. MMO Reporter Network is basically there to make sure that people that haven't heard of the game and news got a chance to see what's going on with Wildstar. And there seems to be an interesting consensus about the game is, yes, there are problems with the game. We've already all acknowledged this. We've said this on the show many, many times. But all of these networks, all of these sites, all of these fan sites, all of these rating sites they're really starting to praise the game more as they're coming back. Like 2P just had a new rating on Wildstar. It's like a 9 out of 10 or 9.1 out of 10. And a lot of sites are putting the game on like their top 10 of current games that play, even before we go free to play. So I wonder if people are starting to come back and jump on the ball and really be like, oh wow, it's actually really, really good. I totally forgot about this game. Putting it up, like people are still comparing it to like Terra and to as bad as their free to play was, the success of SWTOR. And we haven't hit our actual reloaded date yet. So this MMO Network interview, pass along to friends, show them what it's like and have them talk about it. If they have any questions, show them our way or show them to Geeks and Nexus. and then have more information about this game.
Well, and I think the reason why this interview is important and is going over a lot of the older news is that if someone is coming, like, haven't had any experience with the game in the last few months, they quit right after the game launched, whatever, they don't know what's going on unless they go back and re-listen to all of our podcasts. So
True.
This is a single video that they can watch and get caught all the way up.
Speaking of,
I think it's good, if you can give me 1 second, Doc. I think it's good that people create news content about Wildstar consistently as time goes on.
that's advertising.
Yeah, it's advertising, and it kind of pushes down the older content so people don't see old problems and forget to read the date and like think that they're current problems. So I think the more consistently we have content, whether it's like rehashing old topics or talking about new things that are coming, as long as it's current information that's at the top of that Google search when you type in Wildstar news, we're good. We're golden.
True.
That's all we need as a community.
Yeah, it's the actual advertising and word of mouth, like you're saying. People are saying in chat, Reddit's getting more word of mouth out there. And someone said, hey, is there any more marketing stuff happening? And Katie in chat to say, we do have some marketing stuff planned and hope that'll help. Which has kind of been what we've all said before is a major sore point in Wildstar, where PAX East, would like the few months before it was dropped, they had a massive 4-day marketing push. And that was about it. I'm kind of hoping that they start showing off more and more, like, and stuff like this MO Reporter Network video will help, and some of the stuff that's happening with the price box drops. Like, these GameStops are actually now knowing, oh, Wildstar, okay, I know this game. If you've seen people buying it, I actually had to talk with some people about this. So stuff like this video, stuff like the Wildstar sale at GameStop, they're all actually helping on the advertising front that they're sorely lacking. That's going to be really it for the official news and whatnot we've seen in the game. So we're going to move on to a short but sweet Strange Tales from the Community. I like doing that voice. Which,
by the way, the first video just made me laugh over and over and over.
It's for the lulz to the extreme.
There's a big warning at the very, very beginning.
I'll leave it up for a bit so people can read it.
It's literally like, if you take this seriously, like, calm the fuck down. Like,
although I think the idea behind the video is serious, but I think the way it's presented is not so serious. I think it's just kind of like trying to be funny, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the things that he is so the video is from Ox. The video is from Ox, and it's called Carbine Please.
Carbine Please.
Carbine Please. And the video is really, really awesome. He goes through it and he kind of points out problems that he has and just says, Carbine Please. Like,
not just he, a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, the first thing that he shows off is there's no character transfers. Like, come on, Carbine. Like,
Carbine Please. And it's funny because the guest that he has in the video is the one that says Carbine Please, and he comes up with a uniquely funny voice for each thing.
Yeah.
And
and the best part is at the very, very tail end of the video, he goes, you can hear him go, like, my roommates in the my apartment are just hearing me scream, Carbine, please, over and over again.
But yeah, so many currencies. Carbine, please.
Yeah,
Carbine, please.
like,
that's currencies.
Yeah.
What happened to 0 to 50? I miss 0. Oh, wait up.
Yeah, he kind of laughs at 0 to 50, but there are some things and there's some problems that he mentions, which I mean, we do seriously hope that he takes, or I'm not he, but Carbine takes seriously. These are issues.
Multiple queuings.
Yes, come on. We've been promised that for so
Carbine,
long.
Please, just let me queue for PvP and dungeons at the same time, please.
Anyway, so go check that out. It's a lot of fun. Apparently, there's some trolls giving him some flack for his accent. Oh, shut the fuck up, people! Really?
For his accent?
My favorite.
Because he's not American.
Well, my favorite thing is the last little piece he does, which is what's on the screen. Is why is the Venbot all the way across the map in Thade? And it's aggravating. Thade is too big. Anyways.
Boo-hoo! Just drive across and get the freaking Venbot, yo.
No, I'm going to use my teleport and just spend all of my real money just teleporting from one end of Thade to the other.
I will say that I don't agree with some of his issues that he points out. Like, some of them, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, very low on my list of things.
It was him making fun of other people.
A lot of them are legitimate. Like, a lot of them are like, man. So the one where he talks about DCs is hilarious.
Yes.
Oh my god, that happens way too much.
Anyways,
Tank is ready to pull. Thing has been disconnected. Ah, fuck.
Carbine.
Yeah, it was Carbine Please.
Anyway, let's go. If we'll put the link on the Ox's channel as well. It's really fun. He did a short-lived show called Ox and Shack Talking Back. That was really, really fun. They have stuff planned in the future. I was talking about it today. They're gonna work on Machinima. They're gonna work on some other stuff, not just Wildstar, but other gaming related. So I'm glad that he and his group are back. So
And
thank
I will
you,
say,
guys.
just because he's here and he's talking about his own video, he says some things are in the list are a bit exaggerated. Some things are there for fun, like the more pinkies in which he's referencing. Can raids please drop more pink loot? And yeah, which he calls pinkies very affectionately, it sounds like. And some things are serious issues, which that's what the video feels like. You can pretty much tell, like, he's trolling, he's being serious, or this is just funny. Like, there's no reason for this to be here except for the lulz. Yeah, go watch the video. It puts a smile on my face.
So the next little bit of community stuff we're going to show off is from Kelzam, or Malzik Ray Fury, as his alt is on this plot. So if you don't know who Kelzam is, you will know.
Have you been?
The man never sleeps. All he does is build. He toils, and he creates massive monoliths on this plot. Imagine what he can do with the new, like, 20% extra plot rounds in neighborhoods when it comes to Reloaded. My god. Anyway, specifically we're talking about the Wildstar Mark II.
Can I tell you how much I love the music that he added in this? Like,
Oh, yeah,
it
the super-
fits very nicely.
Super
Like,
Arabian Night sounding thing. It's really cool. You may have heard that when you heard me forget to mute it in the video, and then it kind of bled through into the stream and podcast for a second. So you know kind of what it sounds like.
So he does mention, as a thematic thing in this episode, is he did use a lot of the Phage tech decor, which is like corrupted Elden architecture. That's what it really is. Anyway, just wanted to point that out there because it's kind of awesome. It's massive.
There's a beholder in it. It's the greatest.
yes.
The beholder in this thing. I can't tell if it's like a star or a star destroyer, or like a secret base or something. What is the Wildstar is ridiculous. It's massive.
Who the fuck cares?
And-
It's awesome.
Yeah,
My turn, then.
that's
I do like Clover. Kelzem is going to be
Kelzam is going to be
preemptively banned from housing competitions at the rate he's going.
he
tried to
actually
save you.
cults that go into the competitions too. It's like Kelzam and Malzak. That name looks familiar.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how long it took me to put together the fact that Kelzam and Melzak were the same person. Like, a stupidly embarrassing amount of time.
Let's move on.
Yes, please.
I don't know why you guys are always mean to me. Like,
It's because we love you. Anyway,
that was really cool. The engine thing was super cool. I hadn't seen that before. Anyways, moving
let's
on.
show the new last little bit of community news. This actually, I just found out in our chat. I'm glad because we talked about this last week about Wild Ball. For those of you who don't know from last week, Katya is another housing guru / genius. Carbine Please, hire Katya and Kelzam.
You mean the person who made an add-on for racing on her plots, and then Carbine
And
somehow,
soccer.
and Carbine somehow now has racing in their game.
Let's actually recap this. Katya made a housing editor. An easier housing editor. She made a racing. She's a forerunner in the racing tracks, and she created a Wild Ball, which is essentially Wildstar Soccer. Well, on the bright side, she's been listening to everybody that's on the EU and has brought Katya over. Well, Katya's brought over Wild Ball to the EU side. She's helping out, or Carrot Greenleaf is actually helping her out there. So on Carrot Greenleaf's plot, you can actually jump on there. It's open to the public. You can drop by any time to play it. It's really, really cool. So there's actually, they even give directions, like I saw last week, that it's actually like what abilities can be used in the game and how it all works. So it's not widespread. It only really works on those two plots right now, but the ability is there. So it's really, really, really cool. Man, that's really most of the news this week, and I know it's super early. We've only been on for about 45 minutes or so. But I had a question for you guys, and this actually is more of wild speculation, so put on your tinfoil hats if you can. We're going to go into the future of Wildstar. Well, maybe, possibly, hopefully. So the reason why I say that is everyone's looking for more content to be added into the game and what they want to do. I've always wondered, would it be possible to get space combat in this game?
Oh my god, what? No! What are you talking about?
First of all, it is possible.
Well, I mean,
It
it's
is-
like technologically possible, sure.
Well, I
There's
mean, and we.
quest flying a ship.
Well, yeah, there's quest lines where you are flying a ship and attacking things on the ground. So theoretically,
That's really, really not the same thing.
no, I understand that. I mean,
For those of you that don't know the quests that he's talking about, there's a quest, I forget where you're basically on rails. There's actually two that I know of. There's one where you're on rails and you have to like click on your target and just hit one, and you have no control over the speed or direction of your ship. The other one is you're again on these rails, and all you have to do is click one. You get a telegraph that has a range of like 80 billion, and then you have to click on things on the ground and bomb them.
I'm just saying, I'm with
It's not Space
Clover.
Combat, guys.
I would much rather see a low gravity battlefield arena or battleground.
That's what they have to fucking focus
Around
on,
it-
dude.
The problem is with the way the jumping system works is that jumping will cancel out abilities, and there's not a whole lot of Z-axis on these abilities.
Yeah,
We're
that's the reason it's cool. You're like, boom.
But you're still gonna get hit. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you double jump over the ability. You're still gonna get hit by the
No,
ability.
no, I'm not saying that.
Well,
What
they
I,
should fix that first.
well, I mean, line of sight. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get line of sight first in the game, then we'll talk about Z-axis.
Well, hold on. If we're gonna talk, if you're gonna say that, then you're gonna have to say, well, so if you want space combat, you're gonna fix this, this, and the other. So no,
The space combat and then also low grav. Those are two possible things. You guys really are fighting for low grav here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Space combat
combat
would-
in space combat. Like we don't
Oh my
need a whole
God.
new game mechanic. We just need.
Star Fox and Wildstar? Come on.
Let's go play Star Fox.
Or why don't you just go play the new Star Wars Battlefront, which also has space combat? Like,
What is-
add something to the game. Like, add something that like makes sense for the game. I don't think space
Does
battles make sense.
It does make total sense. Okay, there's several ways.
RGDK said at CRB Canadian, where do we send our resumes with half implemented ideas?
Yeah.
That's all we're good for, really.
That's really funny.
So, okay, low gravity PP. Tell me how that would work, because the major two issues I have is that your line of sight issues and the fact that there's no Z axis limit for skills. Meaning, it doesn't matter how
There
high
is
you.
a Z-axis limit.
There is.
You can't be infinitely above a telegraph and have it hit you. That's.
But I mean, players' abilities. Like, you can actually obviously jump over certain beams in, say, Skullcano because they have a low
no,
Z.
We don't talk about Skullcano.
It'd be funny if every time anyone said Skullcano, we all just screamed like at the top. Like,
Well, you know, we don't talk about Skullcano.
PTSD.
Well, I mean, yeah, there are things in the dungeon which we do not name. There are other abilities that you have to jump that do like whole area effects. So there clearly is like Z access with abilities. And I'm not going to be the guy that says that's a simple thing for Carbine to code, because that's the horseshit answer. But if they fixed had a specific Z axis where instead of just a telegraph this way, but it was a visual height telegraph as well, which would be pretty interesting.
So here's what I think about. I've thought about it for a second. Here's what I think about zero gravity PvP. It
Okay.
would just mean for people that were taking PvP seriously that they couldn't jump. Like that would be the bottom line. It's like way too much mobility gone. The fact that you can't change your direction as easily as you could if you're walking. Unless the whole goal of that arena was to get from platform to... Like, it would have to be
Yes.
very severely platformed.
I want to see like a space crater that has been like blown up, and it's like you've got like platforms, and it's like a
Okay,
king
so-
of the hill.
so
And
you realize that would
okay.
just be Krug extricating, right?
no, it's a king.
No,
of
no,
the
no,
hill.
what would be
because
great-
you can't extricate the opponents.
I'm
Okay,
not
so we
extricating the
don't re-
opponents.
You're
So we
a
don't
dick.
really have a King of the Hill. We have like a zone control thing in the game. What if we did have a King of the Hill, but to combine that that low gravity thing you're talking about, what if we had a battleground that actually switched gravity on us, either through manual means or through automatic means?
Those are very
Like if you were
complicated
able to
mechanics.
control these nodes on this malfunctioning ship or something, the whole ship just shifts, and there's two different battlefield layouts on each side of the ship because it's just stuff following and creating a new terrain.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like
I mean, we didn't get space combat,
a
but why not?
dynamic
Wouldn't-
terrain battlefield. I mean, I don't know exactly how it would be implemented, but that'd be interesting. And
That would be-
that'd be
I
cool.
think it would
so
be.
like one terrain favors one team and the other terrain favors the other team somehow.
Not so much. You
No,
could
that'd be
actually do
cool.
some really fun asymmetric style battlegrounds, because right now the issue is every battleground has to be symmetrical, right? If you look at all the maps, they're virtually symmetrical. They have to be. Now, if you actually had the ability to have these secondary nodes. You don't have to actually access them. But say the team that's on the but on the asymmetric side, it's not on a super well defense area, and they have like a flag or a node they have to, or a ground they have to keep hold of. If they had people run out and hit those nodes, all of a sudden the gravity on this field shifts and the terrain shifts in their favor. So now the attackers or the other team has to work with whatever just does actually do that. I know, and Old Bamboo says we have a ship hand that does that, and that's actually where the main inspiration I thought of was.
Yeah,
a close quarters.
The ship hand that does that transitions in a cinematic.
That's the hard part.
About transitioning like live. Unless every time that happened, PvP would stop. We'd see a cinematic happen.
Ooh, I think that'd be rough.
Nobody would fucking play it if that was the case.
Yeah.
No, I think having a single point king of the hill where it's a circle, and if your team is controlling, aka there are more of your team in that circle that is on a hill at the very top, and low gravity or jumping pads were there. I mean, it doesn't have to be low grav, but like jumping pads that get you to like sections of it. I think that would be really fun because one, it's forcing everyone into combat. It's not necessarily like kill death ratio stuff. It's just controlling a zone. So if you could, fear the hell out of your opponent's team to not be up there, or if you could, I think that would be really, really fun because we don't really. I mean, we sort of have that with Halls of the Bloodsworn, sort of. But it's this team is controlling and then this team is controlling. I'm like at the same time it's a red or blue section.
Classic style, like no weird funky modifications to it would be pretty interesting. Or they could just go in their current like trajectory and just take the next thing Kachi is doing and add it to the game, which would be soccer. So,
I would love a wild ball map.
And PvP
just saying.
soccer. PvP soccer. That would be really fun.
Oh my god.
That would be really fun.
Where like damage is like 80% less, but the ball actually moves faster because of that, or something like that.
No, damage is 120% more.
Everything's a one. Then it's just deathmatch.
Wait, hold on.
It's just straight up deathmatch with the occasional ball.
Like PvP right now for Krug. I'm bad at PvP.
We have Hut Ball in Star Wars, so I would love to see Wild Ball.
Clover,
in,
I don't
in,
know
in
if
Wildstar.
the tether bug in Halls got fixed, but I
Yes.
really would like.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
Way back when, like the week after we talked about it, it was
Okay.
fixed.
I don't remember that at all, but I'm glad.
So, I guess we just transitioned straight from space combat to different kinds of PvP battlegrounds because you guys are so vehemently opposed to it.
It makes no sense.
I do not believe. I think it makes perfect sense. I think we're in a game that's in space, and a part of our questing experience is in space. And there's rumors that we'll go back to space in the future. Space combat sounds like it'd be a fun thing to do, right? If you're on, like, say, you have to go back to Farside, or in lore, we have Loremageddon that shows us that there are mining operations on moons that have been abandoned. There's a second moon around Nexus that has been quarantined off. Those are great segues into getting space combat into the game. Like if you were to do
if you're gonna do space combat, you have to do it in a first or third person position where your vehicle doesn't change position, or but your environment does. So if you fly up, you're not physically flying up, but the surroundings are moving, and you have to go through star fields, blah 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 blah, and also fight stuff. Like having a traditional battleground-esque where you would fly around in circles and have to shoot other things, like keep us on a pseudo rails system where you're traveling through. And what?
Well, Star Wars actually does kind of a similar thing when they're doing
no it's okay. The problem with not being on a rails system in flight combat is, one, it can last way too long, true. And two, it can make people sick. All right. So the thing is and by rails, it means that you are constantly going forward, and you are trying to go from point.
Game, you're not just running around wherever you want.
Correct. You're going from point A to point B, but the game isn't going to go a straight line. It's going to go in loops or whatever, and you have to move yourself around to avoid damages.
There are Kingdom Hearts.
So
it's
you're
like the
positioning yourself on the screen, but the screen's constantly
moving
advancing.
in. Yes,
So
exactly.
you have if cardinal directions, but you don't have forward or backwards control.
If you've seen Kingdom Hearts, they do a thing where you transition between worlds. You have a gummy ship you customize, and that's what it is. If you look at your screen, they call it a gummy ship. It's like Legos and gummy bears.
Yeah.
Gummy ship.
I'm Googling this shit right now.
Okay.
Well, we are getting close to the end of this, so how about this? What's really, really fun? We still have some Fancy Pants code to give away, right? why don't we give 1 or 2 of them away?
Look at Krug's
Have any
face.
more left?
Yeah.
I actually have no idea what we have left because I don't physically.
We still have the
any
fancy
of
pants codes. Let's
Yes.
give. Yeah, we still have
those.
fancy
You
pants
look
codes.
so like we have some fancy pants codes. And Crew's like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "Look, fucker, we have some fancy pants codes." Right?
How about this?
Krug, get prepared to do a giveaway.
I will assume
maybe
the
not right
position.
Maybe not right now because we can probably give this away for next week. Like, tell us what
You
you
just
think
said we were doing a giveaway.
You let me finish what I'm saying? I was gonna say, tell us what you think would be an awesome battleground or space combat mechanic or something. We'll give you fancy pants code for it. Like, that would be awesome.
All right, so
You made me make my hair poofy, and I hate you for that.
tweet @_Q times during the week, and between now and next week we will pick the best option. So again, the Twitter handle is @_Q times QUEUETIMES. Hit us up and tell us in 120 characters or less what you think your best
140.
battleground 140 characters or less, what your favorite what your idea of the perfect battleground would be.
Technically,
It'd
it's
be fun to see
128
condense
because
that.
you have to include.
Yeah.
Did you just do like a Rain Man math thing in your
No,
head?
No,
right
I
now?
was literally counting on my fingers. You could probably see it on the stream if you look.
Definitely 128 characters. Definitely 128 characters. Yeah. Anyway,
My hair looks like boobs right now because it's like poofy.
What?
It's poofy.
what is with you and genitalia today?
that? Boobs are not genitalia. Do you?
Oh, that's a fair point.
Anyways, Doc, what is the best place for people to find you?
Oh, well, if I survive this current heat wave from California, you can find me on Twitter @DocQT. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Indigo, where can we find you online?
You can find me at Indigo Jones QT on Twitter. You could also email me at indigo@qtimes.com. And if you would like to get a hold of all three of us, you can email us at stos@qtimes.com. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything, that is the best
Criticism.
place. Criticism as
We
well,
love criticism.
absolutely. That is the best place to
Want to make it
send
better for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want to continue to make this
Told your
show.
mom.
Oh, fuck. If your criticism is to get rid of Krug, I'm already with you.
There might be. A
I'll take
petition
applications.
Yeah, we're taking
somewhere. Take
applications.
applications.
We're taking applications to get rid of Krug now.
Good thing I have control of the email servers. Anyways,
Where can people find you?
you can find me on Twitter @KrugQT. You can also hit me up via my email address, which is krug@qtimes.com. For some reason, people think my name is spelled weird. It's CROOG. That's how you spell my name. So krug@qtimes.com. And as Indigo said, if you want to get a hold of all four of us, you can send an email to stos@qtimes.com. And we love you.
So for those of you that are curious, Slot says what it's or someone says what is this thing? Fancy Pants. It's the name of the costume set that's given out
It's
for
a
Gamescom.
fancy pants shirt or top piece.
This
Yes.
is a weirdly weird thing to address right before
love-
the end of the recording.
Who knows? People just want to know, right? I want a hat though. I want the Fancy Pants hat. Just
End the
saying.
recording, please.
Anyways, for all of us at STOS, thank you very, very much for watching us, listening to us, whatever you do each week. Thank you, and hope to see you guys next week.
Mwah.
Episode 63 of Strange Tales from Outer Space. Ah!
Don't double charge me. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to click down there and like and subscribe this video. Also, there should be some annotations right below me if you want to see more content just like this. Thanks for watching, guys.